Now, the other way to make a course available on your digital store is to sell it. In order to do that, you're going to need to create a page, and you're going to need to do that through the funnel area. And so you will click Sales Funnels, and you will start by creating a page. And we've already started creating a page here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this page to start the process. That's here where you're going to have to make a decision. The default setting when you open a sales funnel and you click on that sell item is going to be that you're going to be given an order form and a thank you page. If you click on the sales page templates for the order form, what you'll notice is that this may not necessarily be the first thing that you want a customer to see. You may want that to be the second step that a customer sees after they click a buy button in order to make the decision to buy. And if that's the case, what you're going to do is you're going to click this button that says Add Step, and you're going to create a funnel step. And in this case, we may do something like a landing page or a sales page. We're going to just write in landing page here in this area. In some circles, the words landing page and sales page are interchangeable. We're now going to choose a type as described by Systeme. Systeme has squeeze pages, and you may have seen those, opt-in thank you pages, inline forms, and pop-up forms. Those are primarily to collect names and email addresses and associate it with opt-ins. There's what is also called the sales section. There are sales pages, upsell pages, downsell pages, and thank you pages. Now, what we will need to choose from to add to our funnel will be sales pages. We're going to click on sales page. What you now see is that there's a sales page element. This page is now at the bottom of the funnel, or the last thing. We can drag and drop that page to the top of the funnel so that it appears with the funnel. And what you'll see is that we can choose a specific page here in this area. So we're going to find a sales page template with a button that the customer is going to click to be sent to the order form. So we're not going to spend a lot of time looking at templates. We just want to make sure that there's a button there. So we'll click this. We can choose this one because it has a buy button here. So we're going to select this one, and we're going to stop the process here, and we're going to pick it up from the point of customizing this landing page. Okay, so that thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. So the customer is going to click off of the digital store and onto our landing page. What we're going to do is we're going to edit the page of the template that we just created. We're going to click Edit Page. Now we could customize this page according to the specific offer that we're going to be doing. However, we're not going to do that for the sake of this video. We primarily want to focus on the button that the customer is going to be clicking. And we click on this button. What you'll notice here is that this button takes the customer to the next step. So if we can make this page, which is a landing page, to tell the customer about what it is they will be purchasing, we can do that. And so we can make this into a traditional sales page with a sales message and convince the customer that they need to click the button if they want to order the product. So our focus is then again going to be the buy button and making sure that the customer then is taken to the next step. Once you have customized your entire page and you have made your sales message what you want it to be, you will then click Save Changes. You can then exit this page and you will then be ready to customize the order form. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, before we customize the order form, we do want to change the name of the page as well as the URL path. Once we have our name and our URL path, we can then click on the order form. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and customize our order form. And we can customize our URL path. What we now want to do is we want to edit the page. Now at minimum, what you'll want to have is you'll want to have any coupon code that you're going to have. You'll want to have your payment details. You want to have the first name and email address. And optionally, you can have an individual designate if they are individual or a company. If you do want other elements in, you can add them from the left side menu. Once you have your payment details, you can then click Save Changes. And your order form will then be ready. You can exit the order form, and then you will have edited your order form. Now what you need to do is you'll need to scroll down to the bottom, and you'll need to configure the order form page. This is where we will determine how we are going to deliver the product and what product we are going to deliver when the customer pays, as well as how much they will pay. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. What we now need to do is we need to choose an offer type, and what we're going to choose is a digital product. When we choose a digital product, what we'll need to do is we'll need to click this expansion button. That's going to give us this area. We're going to write in the digital product name that we're going to be selling. And to do that, we'll need to click this expansion button, and then we'll need to determine what kind of resource we're going to add. These are Systeme.io designated categories. We can click one of those categories. For the sake of this video, we're going to choose a course that we have put together. And what we can then do is we can go to this drop-down menu where it says choose a course and choose one of the courses that we have put together in Systeme.io. Once we do that, we'll choose an access type. Typically, we'll grant full access. And what we now need to do is we need to set up a price plan. We will click on this expansion button, and we can determine what kind of pricing plan we want to add. We can create a new plan. We can give this price plan a new name. We can add in a descriptor for the statement. We can determine how much the product will cost the customer. And once we click Save, our price plan will then be added. For the sake of this video, we're not going to offer any coupons, although we could make them available. Now you do need to click Save to this element before you go to view the funnel if you're going to see all the right elements. Now we have clicked Saved, so we're going to click View Funnel. We are now going to click on this element that says Buy the Book. That's going to bring us to the order form, and you're going to see that the customer will then see the price. They will then have their payment method, and then they can click Buy Now. So what we have now done is we have now set up our order page. Okay, so that thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. We now need to customize the thank you page. And what we need to do is we need to click on this element. We can now choose a specific template. We can now edit the template. Now in this particular case, we want to make sure that we have all of the right elements. We're going to delete any buy buttons. Again, what we're doing here on this page is we are communicating with the customer as to what to expect. What we have done is we have delivered that customer into a specific course, and they will receive an email giving them access. What we're now going to do is we're going to click Save Changes. And now our thank you page for our entire funnel is now complete. We can now exit the page. We now have 3 pages. You now have a sales page, which is what the customer sees first. They will then click the button and be taken to the order page. The order page will then deliver them into the course, and they will receive an email giving them access to the course. And we have now customized the thank you page. Now that we have customized the thank you page, we are now ready to place the page on our digital store. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. We're going to take the sales page or the front of the funnel, and we're going to copy the URL. We're now going to head to our digital store, and we're going to do that by going to this tab, by then going to the digital stores tab. We will then click on the digital store tab. In this case, we can add a new section. We can then add a section for products and services. You can make the section say whatever you want it to say. This is just what we have chosen. We're going to click Add Section. We're then going to click Add Product. We're then going to add an external link. We're then going to place our URL here in this area. We're going to fill in our title, button, and subtitle. We could add an image, but for the sake of this video, we are going to skip this part of the process. Once we have all the verbiage in, we can then click Publish, and our new link is now available. We'll want to test our link again by going to the View command and then clicking on this element. And basically, you'll now see that we end up on the landing page, and then we'll then be taken to the payment process. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, it's important to note that if we want to make sure to collect a name and email address when an individual makes a purchase, that we're going to have to manually set that process up. What we want to do is, based on the order form, we want to set up an automation rule. We want to click on Add Rule. We want the trigger to be when a new sale occurs. What we then want to do is we want to take a specific action. We want to click on this action. We want to then subscribe an individual to a specific campaign. And we then have our rule. We may also want to add in a tag. So we're going to add a second element. And we're going to add a specific tag. And once we've added the tag, we can then save the rule. So what we have now done is, based on the new sale, we have now added an individual to a campaign for email. We have also added a tag to identify that individual. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, in order to deliver a webinar experience, you will need to have a video that you are going to autoplay, that you're going to upload to Systeme.io, or you're going to link to it on YouTube. To start the website experience, you'll need to go to the sales funnel area and click on Create a Sales Funnel. What you'll notice is that there's an element called Run an Evergreen Webinar. The webinar experience in Systeme means that an individual is going to land on a page, there's going to be a brief countdown, and then the video is going to autoplay for your customer to watch. It is meant to be an automated process. So you will click on Run an Evergreen Webinar. You will then set your currency and then click Save. What you should see at this point will be 3 new pages to customize. And we will undertake this process in the next video. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome back. Now you do have 3 pages. However, you can do this webinar in 2 pages, depending on how you want to do it. Obviously, the first part of the process is you want to determine what you want to happen when the individual registers for the webinar. So you're going to first look to the automation rules. You're then going to click on Add Rule. You'll then click on Trigger. And then what you want the trigger to be is when the individual is registered to a webinar. You'll then set the action. You'll then determine how you want the individual to be identified. Typically, you're going to want to at least add a tag. You will also then want to subscribe the individual to a campaign. And what we also want, obviously, is we want to have an email sent to that individual. Now, you will need to have a campaign selected. We're just going to select a campaign for the sake of this video. And you are also going to want to have an email that you want to have sent. This is a good place where if you want to give individuals a direct link to where they can watch the webinar, you want to give it to them. Now, currently, we do not have an email set up. So for the sake of this video, we're just going to delete this element. What we could do also is to set up a different email campaign and have the individual added to that campaign. We're going to select the tag and we're going to save the rule. What we then want to do is want to configure the webinar registration page. We're going to edit the page. And we want to make sure to collect the individual's name and email address. And then we're going to click the button. And we'll notice here that when the individual submits the form, that the system will take that individual to the next step in the process. So we can now click Save Changes. And we can now exit this page. What we can then do, we don't have to necessarily use the webinar broadcast page. What we could do is to go to this webinar page. We could configure that page, and we can configure a specific page. That's necessary to demonstrate where this page comes from. We're going to change the page template so that we can see it. You'll notice here that some of the pages allow for you to have the webinar on this page, and that's one of the templates we want to select. So we've got a webinar so that it happens on this page. We can configure the page, and this is where we're going to add in the video that is going to autoplay. Once we do that, we're then going to click Save Changes. We'll then exit the page. We can now delete this page because we no longer need the page. And our funnel is now ready to be placed on our digital store page. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. In conclusion, we can now take the webinar funnel and we can place it on our store page. We're going to take the link from this view funnel, or we can take the top of the funnel where the registrar registration page is. We can then click on the link. We can head to our store page. We can go to this website tab and click on digital stores. We can then click on our store page. We can then add a new section. We're going to click on Add Section. We can now add a new product. That product will be an external link. We can place in our URL here in this area, and we can add in our text. And once again, we're not going to add in an image. We're going to add in the necessary text. Once you do that, you'll then be able to click Publish, and your page will then be ready. You can click on and view the page. Now this page has not been customized or branded, and it's now that you want to think through how you want to fully brand and add to the page. However, we have all of the elements in place to promote the links that we want to promote from our digital store. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you either in another video or in another course.